If I didn't swing heavy clubs every day, I probably would not be walking down this beach. Everybody's got a lot of opinions on fitness, what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it. Bench press is great, back squat, all these other things. Go to the gym, this type of program, this type of split. What you really need to be doing after 20, 25 years of training and of doing really stupid stuff and getting super hurt is learn to swing heavy clubs. You need to stop doing chest day and you need to start doing movement day, every day, forever. If you don't move, then things go very poorly, especially if you have a ton of injuries. I myself have some of the worst knee injuries anybody's ever had, right? It's the opposite of the NFL injury. So I have complete PCL disruption, complete LCL disruption, popliteus tendon, meniscus, absolutely gone, right? I'm supposed to get a full knee replacement. I'm fighting that every day by being smarter than everybody else about training. Eventually, I'll probably have to break and do it, but we're not gonna do it yet. I was supposed to be so crippled I couldn't walk at the age of 28. I'm 45 now, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. After I got super injured, I had to just get smarter. I used to do a lot of gym stuff. I went to the gym 2 hours every day. I was really good at it. I was a great trainer, but it didn't really matter after you got hurt. You had to get smarter because none of my physical therapists could figure out how to make me walk without a limp. I still walk with a limp sometimes, but not every day. Oh, yoga class on the beach. Swinging heavy clubs and kettlebells and alternating those two things back and forth is the only reason that I can continue to function. I'll still jump up on the roof of a barn, hit a roof of a barn, or build a barn, or build a house. I'll run the top of the wall. I'll go to judo at the drop of a hat. I'll go to jujitsu at the drop of a hat. I'm not as good as I used to be, but granted, I don't train every day like I used to, but I can still drop in and do things that will kill your average individual. I did circus for years after my injury, and that is specifically because of heavy club swinging. When you learn to swing heavy clubs, you rotate all of your joints equally. You don't leave any one joint out. That happens a lot when you do physical therapy. When you do physical therapy, you isolate the bad joint, but you only have a limited amount of time that the insurance company will pay for. So you might get 12 sessions, twice a week for 6 weeks. More if you've got great insurance. But who's got that anymore? Nobody I know. So when you learn to swing heavy clubs, you go back and forth between a two-hand program where you work on making sure your body rotates equally well, left and right. That's a huge deal if you've had a shit ton of knee injuries and you've had a shit ton of spinal injuries. Making your spine work, your knee work, with your ankle, with your hip, with your shoulder, with your elbow, and with your knee is super important. All right, there's kind of a weird river here. We're not gonna cross it because we don't wanna get that wet and gross right now. We're gonna save getting wet and gross for the rest of the workout. And then you go to single arm and you isolate one side of your spine from the other, one knee, one hip, one shoulder, and you make them very close to being the same. They're never truly the same. A lot of days I wake up and one side of my body is 55% and the other side is 45. But I wake up, I go outside, I grab a club, I swing it nonstop for 8 minutes if I have to go to a martial arts class, 10 minutes if I just have to go out to the barn and work, and I activate every system in my body. And I do it every morning, forever. And you're never done. That's the thing that most people think. They think that eventually you just stop training. It's absolute nonsense. You train every day, forever. That's what longevity training is. Your goal is to keep all the systems working optimally forever. You're gonna keep getting hurt. It happens. You're gonna get more and more hurt the more dumb stuff you do, right? And all the best stuff in life is dumb stuff. Riding horses through the mountains, roping cattle, riding dirt bikes, riding motorcycles, just going for walks in foreign countries where you probably shouldn't be, getting chased by the mob in a foreign country, all those fun things, right? Still need to be able to run, right? I may be old and I may be crippled, but I can still run from the mob in a foreign country. Still jump over a wall, still do front rolls. Heavy clubs do that for me every single day. If I had known about heavy clubs before my injuries, probably wouldn't be nearly this injured. Probably would not be nearly this injured. That's fine, right? You live and you learn. The more injuries you get, the smarter you need to get. If your life is getting worse after an injury, not better, you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to figure out what movements you've lost. And you need to figure out how to practice that more days a week than you don't forever. I say 5 days a week because if you work 5 days a week, you should work out 5 days a week. Is it the best strategy for muscle development or yada, yada, yada? No, it's the best strategy for living a good life. Those are two different things. Looking good or being pain-free and doing rad stuff. We're gonna do our 10-minute workout here. We're gonna jump in that ocean. Doesn't look good. And we're gonna continue to do things. Never give up, never surrender.